We're back. Okay, we come back to this book, The Twits, written by Roald Dahl, published by the Puffin Books. And we come back to the story where they're done torturing each other. They're done doing tricks and pranks on each other. No more eyeballs, no more wormy spaghetti. They've already done all that. And then they came on to, then Mr. Dole taught us to another part of the book where we get to see what their house looks like, what their garden, what their yard, their shed. And we find out that they eat bird pie for supper, which is horrific because they trap live birds in a tree and then pluck them off and stick them into a pie, feathers, beaks, feet, and all, and eat it. And they do this every Tuesday. They trap the birds. Wednesday, they eat them. And so, yuck. Anyways, so we also found out from this that there is the Hug-Tight sticky glue is extremely able to trap things because it's trapped 4 little boys in a tree just using some Hug-Tight. They couldn't get their pants free from the tree just themselves. And so it's very strong glue. And they also found out that there are monkeys. There are 4 monkeys, and this is actually the chapter where we get to meet the monkeys. So I'm going to show you the first illustration along with the title this time because they did it on purpose. They wanted you to see both of them at the same time. I'll show you. This chapter is called The Great Upside Down Monkey Circus. Now, if we see we see the 4 monkeys, and they are upside down. We see that they're doing handstands. They're standing up on their hands. Now, if they were right side up, it would not be the upside down monkey circus. They would look something like this. But they're the upside down monkey circus. Okay, so we'll look for other illustrations. Now, the Great Upside Down Monkey Circus is going to be the name of something. And we see the ghastly Mrs. Twit. I did it wrong. Mrs. Twit chasing the monkey with a stick, and the monkey looks none too pleased. Mrs. Twit looks ghastly, beastly as ever. That's the only illustration in this chapter other than the Great Upside Down Monkey Circus picture that they showed at the very beginning. Now, let's start the chapter. The Great Upside Down Monkey Circus. Now for the monkeys. The 4 monkeys in the cage in the garden were all one family. They were Mugglewump and his wife and their 2 small children. Now, the character of Mugglewump is a Roald Dahl character. If you want to read more about Mugglewump, read The Enormous Crocodile. He's one of the main characters in that book. So Mugglewump is the name of the daddy monkey, and he has his wife and 2 babies. Okay. But what on earth were Mr. and Mrs. Twit doing with monkeys in their garden? Well, in the old days, they had both worked in a circus as monkey trainers. Background information on the Twits. They used to teach monkeys to do tricks and to dress up in human clothes and smoke pipes and all the rest of that nonsense. Now, it's been a long time since I've seen a circus. Like I was a child the last time I saw a circus, and it was mostly disgusting. But anyways, I have never seen a monkey smoke a pipe during any of this time, but apparently that's something that they used to do because I've heard that several times. Okay, anyways. Today, although they were retired, Mr. Twit still wanted to train monkeys. It was his dream that one day he would own the first great upside-down monkey circus in the world. That meant that the monkeys had to do everything upside down. They had to dance upside down, on their heads, on their hands, with their feet in the air, just like our picture showed us. They had to play football upside down, which they're not talking about football American, where you throw things. They're talking about football European, where it's soccer. It's our word for soccer. They had to play football upside down. They had to balance one on top of the other upside down, Mugglewump at the bottom, and the smallest baby monkey at the very top. They even had to eat and drink upside down, and that is not an easy thing to do because the food and water has to go up your throat instead of down it. In fact, it's almost impossible. But the monkeys simply had to do it, otherwise they got nothing. All this sounds pretty silly to me. It sounded pretty silly to those monkeys, too. They absolutely hated having to do upside down nonsense day after day. It made them giddy to stand on their heads for hours on end. Now, giddy is a British word that is used to mean dizzy. Sometimes the two small monkey children would faint with so much blood going to their heads. Have you ever put yourself upside down? And you felt the blood draining towards your head, and after about 15 seconds, it starts getting unpleasant, and after a minute, it's absolutely unbearable. Well, they were having to do this stuff for 6 hours a day, and so they fainted, which means they lost consciousness for a short amount of time or a long amount of time. It doesn't say. But Mr. Twit didn't care about that. He didn't care about them fainting. He didn't care about that. He kept them practicing for 6 hours every day. And if they didn't do as they were told, Mrs. Twit would soon come running with her beastly stick. And that's the end of that chapter. We've met the Mugglewump family. We know Mugglewump and his wife and his 2 children are currently being held captive by the Twits to make them a part of the upside-down monkey circus. Mr. Twit and Mrs. Twit, we found out, used to be monkey trainers. And they still want to own an upside-down monkey circus, which sounds utterly ridiculous to me, but they're Twits. What do you want? Okay, thank you.